So you want to get started on GTARP, but you don't know where or how to do it. Now, I'm going to be talking from the perspective of Eclipse RP, which is the only RP server I've played. There is a bunch of different things that you can do, a bunch of jobs to go for, a bunch of gangs to go for, loads of little activities you can create yourself. There's ways to make money, there's ways to gamble money. There's different prisons, there's different prison sentences, all that sort of stuff. There's a court that's just been introduced. The first thing I'd recommend when getting started is to download RageMP. RageMP is a client which uses the base files of GTA with a few extra modded ones that have been developed by the RageMP developers, and this is where Eclipse is run from. What will come up is the Eclipse RP. You want to click on the European server, and then what we will be greeted with is an application to fill out. Now read over the server rules, which can be found in the link in the description. What I'd recommend you doing is read over them thoroughly twice before going for your application, because applications can take up to 24 hours, maybe even longer to be accepted. So to do it all again after being denied for a silly little mistake, which you could have just spent another 5 minutes reading, it'll help you out in the long run. So let's say your application gets accepted. What will happen now is you will just spawn in, I think near the bus job. Let me have a look on the map. So I think you will spawn in around Integrity Way here, with absolutely nothing. You'll have the clothes that you get from the character selection, and you will have nothing. There's multiple different ways you can go. The first thing I did was I went to this little briefcase here, which because you spawn right next to it, and I did a bus route. Now bus routes, they will make you money, but they will make you a short amount of money. But you can find what you want to do from there. Just be careful. If you get caught by the police doing this, you need a license to drive. So, I mean, just take it at your own risk. That's another thing to move on to. Licenses. Licenses are something you will do by filling out online. There's licenses for your firearms. There's licenses for your car driving. Licenses for truck driving. There's licenses for a lot of things that you need, including business. If you want to go and make your own business, you're going to have to apply for a business license. Business licensing is great. It helps you out with a lot of stuff, really, if you want to start your own business or if you want to do like a sole trade. So what I'd recommend doing when you get in is go to some of the social spots. There's a bunch of different social spots where people hang out, including the LSB, which is the bank, which is there. There is the pier, which is the, where's this? Oh, the 4th of July fireworks. See, there's an event there. The pier, which is another social spot. There's a few others like the dam, the Vespucci Lake. You'll find this out as you go along. This is kind of things you all need to learn as you join. So you can get yourself involved with jobs such as fishing, which is not a registered job, but it's okay money. A money transporter, you can work for a delivery service, or you can do oil mining and regular mining. This all makes you different money per hour, but then again, this is an RP server. You shouldn't really be, maximizing things for the amount of money per hour. The main focus is the RP. You've got to be in it to win it when it comes to the RP and not the money. You'll often find people can get attached to things a bit easily, but that's just a part of the game. People have a bit of a win mentality, which is fair. If you spend a lot of time on something, you'd want to win. So there's other jobs that you can go for, but they take applications, so you have to go through, read through and apply, such as the police department, the sheriff's department, the Department of Corrections, the downtown cab company, a taxi driver. Now these are actually official factions, which means they are scripted in by the server. They can earn official, and you can earn official if you show good RP standards and commitment through starting a gang that is non-official, or a group or a business that is non-official. Now, a big interest point for many people who join the server is the different gangs that are around within the city and the different sort of illegal activities they can get involved with. People can push for official when they start a gang. You get a lot of benefits from it, such as gang drops, where you can order weaponry and stuff like that to sell to regular civilians for a bit of a profit. Gangs have their own territories which they can fight and claim for. This is all kind of things you'll find out as you begin to play. Joining a gang is great. You get involved in so many different things. There's a situation every day. You can create your own RP. As you can see in the clip here, we actually robbed a jewelry store. We didn't get any scripted money from it, but because of how fun and how well it went down, we got rewarded by the administration team. They took us into a call afterwards, and the person, well, the admin who watched over the whole thing congratulated us, said it all went really well. All stayed within the rules, and it created a good scene for everybody involved. To this day, this scene is probably my favourite section of RP I've ever. You also find yourself in shootouts with opposing gangs a lot. These can stem from anywhere. But in the rules, you've got to be dead steady with it, because you cannot just start robbing and shooting people wherever. There's got to be a reason behind it. There's got to be a full set RP behind it, or a scaled up escalation from. You can get your first car down at the low end dealership. That's where I'd recommend. That's where most people would. You get yourself about 10-15k together by probably fishing or going around doing the money truck job or a bus route, and you can go to the low end dealership and probably pick up a car for about 10 to 15k. This means that you'll be able to get around the city quite easily, and you won't have to worry about running everywhere or ordering a taxi, because they do add up in price. Before you go ahead and decide to join any official faction, whether this is illegal or illegal, so a gang, or if you wanted to join the police department, you have to have a minimum of 5k XP. Now XP, if I show you here, you see their experience is 188,000. So you need 5,000 XP in order to apply, and most gangs take a little bit more because they want the experienced players, they want the best of the bunch to be involved with their gang. Again, this changes depending on the job, but I think all legal factions, so the taxi company, the Department of Corrections, the prison, the police department, everything like that has a minimum of 5k required XP, which is a good thing, and they're also very difficult to get into, so make sure you practice your RP, because they have a very, very, very high set standard. So as a criminal, you can get involved with things such as weapon drops. If you're involved with an official gang, you will put an order in after you've got enough power. It's called power. After you get enough power from turfs, you can spend so much money on a drop, and then you can go and pick up that drop, and then take it back, open it up, and then sell all the weaponry or what was inside it to people for a profit. You can also use it because it's just guns, but you've got to be careful, because often these drops do get compromised by the police, which creates more RP, as you know, you've always got to be on edge when picking up a drop, just in case there's police hiding around the corner. As I said before, you can get involved in shootouts. Shootouts often go down really, really well, and are fun for everybody involved. Again, you just got to be careful with that win mentality. Of course, you're going to be upset if you lose everything on your character, but you just got to remember it's an RP server. It's not, you know, you're not playing to get all the money in the world and all the assets in the world. You've got to kind of take it on the chin and get ready for the next round. Now, Eclipse have very active staff. You'll usually see at least 1 or 2 moderators online at all times. Our admins are above. If you have any questions after you get on the server about certain rules or specifics, in game you can make reports in which the support staff will answer. Support staff usually get back to reported questions almost immediately, so you shouldn't have no issue. I'd always recommend making a report asking the question, because if you make the wrong decision, it only takes a certain amount of wrong decisions before you're permanently banned. One of the things you'll notice about Eclipse to any other RP server is that there isn't any NPCs. What I mean by NPCs is that there isn't normal cars driving around, there aren't people walking that aren't actual players. So everybody you encounter will be an actual player. You've got to be wary though, some people are quite hostile, they're not going to treat you as you treat them. This often creates issues and conflicts, but again, it could lead to more RP in the future, so you just got to take it on the chin again. Another thing I'd recommend is, if you are just joining the server brand new without any RP experience, this is what I did and this is what most people will do. I would recommend you take it slow. Don't rush into anything big. Don't get yourself into any sort of trouble. If you have a question, make a report and ask the question, because there's nothing worse than when a new player gets in and tries to, you know, create their own RP, but they don't understand how the rules and how escalation works, and they end up breaking rules because it just ruins the scene for everybody. I stream a lot, and this is a common factor which you'll see reoccurring. So take it slow, meet some friends, see how they go around and play, and yeah, make sure to kind of look up to certain people, especially in the legal jobs. You'll notice that people in the legal jobs have a very high RP standard, because it's necessary to 1, get in, and to 2, maintain your position inside, you know, a legal job. Eclipse RP offers a load of benefits. You know, you get to meet so many new people. Most of my really good friends have come from Eclipse. I've been playing since August last year, and I don't think I've ever taken a longer than 2-week break. It's incredibly addictive, and you just always want more, whether it's a promotion in a job, or whether it's a high rank in a gang, whether you're itching for that next shootout, or you're itching for the next drop, or you want to cook drugs. Moving on to another point now, a good money maker for crims and stuff like that, and a thing that most crims with a lot of money do, is they will cook drugs in an apartment. Now, again, cooking drugs is good for money if that's what you're interested in. but there's a lot of, there's a big process behind it, and that's stuff you're gonna have to find out for yourself. In a nutshell, gangs cook drugs, they buy and sell weapons, and they claim turf. They often have conflict with other gangs, and also in a nutshell, the legal side of things, it's more of a professional scene. You've got to maintain a high RP standard at all time. Now, there's two different prison systems in Eclipse RP. There is the Mission Row Jail, and there is the County Prison, which is further up north, the DOC. Small charges, too many speeding tickets that you haven't paid, or maybe a reckless operation where you've driven a vehicle recklessly. You'll find yourself in the smaller jail inside a cell. For attempted murders, you're driving away from the police actively, stuff like that, felony charges, you'll find yourself up north in the bigger prison. Again, these both have their own separate RP values to them, depending on how you look at it. See, I have a criminal character and I also have a legal character, and on my criminal character I've been to prison no end of times, and it's created some really good RP. I don't have the clip, but when I was in the Irish gang, we went to DOC, and I think with the head of DOC, we sat outside on the yoga mats and we had a yoga session to calm down everybody's nerves, which was just really funny. One thing I'd say to keep in mind is while you're playing, remember it's an RP server. Remember, you want to itch for that next RP session and the RP opportunity instead of itching for, how am I going to make money this quick in this amount of time? We lost, I think each when we went to prison, we lost about 40k because we shot at the police after a shootout between a rival gang. And we kind of just put it aside because we was together, it was good fun. And we went and we did some yoga with the people who worked there, it's fun all around. Eclipse will help out with things like this as they host events, as you can see on the map here, if I bring it up. This is the 4th of July event, because it's the 4th of July today and there's going to be a big fireworks show. The staff event team help out no end with things like this. They set up stuff like the 4th of July fireworks, they do rally racing, go-kart racing, RCXD racing, stuff like that, like RC cars. And players can create their own events. Now there's often pub nights where on a weekend a pub will be open, everyone can go there. This often leads to people getting drunk in real life just to kind of, match the scene. It's fun. I often do it. It's really fun, especially with the right people. In Eclipse, there's nothing stopping you from setting up your own business. And my legal character, I'm trying to develop a photography business going around, okay, well this guy needs help. So this guy needs help. I'm just gonna call the police or the medics. I'm gonna call both because I don't know how many people are on duty right now. Bring up your phone, it's F2, and then this cursor will pop up and then you just click on the little phone icon in the bottom. So I'm gonna call both. His bike's fried, he's not going to be able to drive that. So after your application's been accepted and you're in playing Eclipse RP, how much fun you have, really it's up to you. Other than that, you can find the links you need for everything in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.